Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Had technical difficulties, but I think we got them fixed. It was the internet this morning, and and Wednesday was my camera. My camera didn't work, but anyway, it is a happy day, and it is chilly in Las Vegas, which I love. Turned the heat on finally. So what's going on in real estate? We're turning the heat up a little bit on real estate too. We're actually selling 68 homes a day, and that is beating what we were doing the first 11 days of October. So it could be the pricing. The pricing has gone down. Lots of listings are being reduced. And let's see, I didn't have time to get this, but let me find it and show you what's going on here. Upload it for you. Yeah. Come on. Upload, upload, upload. Here we go. Yeah, let me put this down for just a second. I want to show you what's driving our market, I believe. Um, in October here, we had 445,000 as the median price, but the median price right now has gone down a bit. And let me find out. There it is. Here it is. Okay. Which you'll be interested in knowing. So hang on with me just a minute. There we go. All righty. So um, let's get rid of this one, and I will show you. At the end of the year, it was 435 going into January. Look what's happened. It's gone down below what we started at the beginning of the year. It's gone down to 427.5, and that's the first 11 days with a to me a good benchmark of 68 sales a day. So I think that we might be selling some more homes, so that'll be good for everybody. And with the high interest rates, and the lenders, of course, have gotten on the bandwagon with the buy downs. And if you don't know about the buy downs, you need to get your lender to explain them to you so you can. I know you're not a lender, and you're not pretending to be a lender, but you need to at least know that there are programs out there to help people buy homes, and the buy down is one way that they can do that. We have closed 81 homes yesterday. I'm telling you, for November the 10th, for the 10th of the month, that's really good. And we listed 105. That's really good. And of those 105 that we listed, 30 of those homes were 445,000 or under. Now, I keep the median price for the entire month because until we have an entire month, I'm not going to change it. But I am going to continue to let you know that the median price is going down. Every Friday, we'll check it and see how it's going. So based on the 74 homes per day that we were selling in October, we have 126 days of inventory. And of course, 7,340 of those homes are single family homes, which is an enormous amount compared to what we have been experiencing earlier in the year. Everything else is bumping along. This year to date, we're doing about 107 sales a day. Last year, we were doing 140. Last year was just a phenomenal year. And with the interest rates at that low, it's not like it had been the normal 10-year trend. It was just a phenomenal, the low interest rates. So, things are going to get back to normal. And what we have to do is just have faith in our market. And, I told you the other day, what did I tell you the other day? Let's see. I told you the other day how many people were moving here every hour. Do you remember that? Um, don't have the slide here. But yeah, I mean, the people that are moving 8.4 per hour, that's phenomenal. 6,100 people moving here every month, and 35% of them are from California. So you have to have faith in the market, and you have to be able to tell your sellers and buyers to have faith in the market. And this is the one thing that we did talk about the other day, that there are $26.7 billion, $26 billion worth of investments in Southern Nevada. And you can see it's not just on the strip, it's out, you've got the Durango stations going on out here. Lots of these are some home developments that are going on, major shopping centers, and some hotel casinos. Um, so when you look into our future, it looks really solid. And I had dinner with a friend the other day, and she says, "Well, what about the water? What about the water?" We did a show, I think about a month ago, on the water, and that the water district feels comfortable that we're good for water for the next foreseeable future. And I'll have to bring those stats back because evidently there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'd love to move to Vegas, but what if you run out of water?" Well, one of the things that my husband always says, John says, "Well, we do run out of water, the value of your home is probably going to double, because if there's no homes building here and people want to move here, we're going to be in high demand, and supply and demand drive the prices higher." So anyway, 33.1% of the projections for the household income, is going up, and it's going up from the 150 or the $100,000 range to the $250,000 range. So 33% of their income projections, that's 1/3 of the market. And that's a healthy market, everybody, because that means people can buy homes, in the $400,000 range and up. So that's an important indicator of our appreciation and of our stability of our real estate. And one of the things that Jimmy Diggs said the other day in class, that the builders have pulled back their permits. Now he watches the new homes very closely, and then builders have pulled back their permits, which means there could be a supply and demand issue next year if we're not turning out the new homes, because last year, for instance, and the previous year, 800 to 1,000 new homes were sold every month. So if we don't have those homes to sell, and then people start buying resales, we could it could put us in a pretty good catbird position with our market. So anyway, I hope everybody's preparing for 2023, uh, and don't get discouraged. Just keep the faith and keep the hope. I'm going to bring somebody on today. Let's see if his video uploaded. I may have to go back and get it because my internet connection, like I said, wasn't working. So let me pull up this video, and ta-da. This was the title of my live broadcast, which was "Sometimes the best gifts in life are wrapped poorly." See if I can pull this gentleman up here. It looks like it's uploading. And he got in the market about 2011. And it was 2011, I think, when he realized that he hadn't been doing the business properly. And so he's going to tell you what his situation was and what brick wall he hit that made him change the way he was doing his business. And one of the things that I don't know that I captured, because it was a pretty long interview, is that he had been marketing to 22,000 people sporadically, not consistently, and not really giving them relevant information. So one of the things that he did was, as I preach and teach, is that you have to have a farm. You have to have a farm, and it doesn't need to be a big farm. I mean, he went from 20,000 down to 770 homes in his farm. And that allowed him to target market, to get familiar with the people that he was marketing to, and get listings and start building relationships. So here he is. His name is Alec Jordan. And I have to remember to mute myself. So then.
Yeah, interesting question, Tom. For me, I hit a brick wall. So it was almost as if until I hit this brick wall, I wasn't going to change. And that happened in 2011, where there were floods in the city that I sell in, which is Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. And I lost a lot of listings, a lot of sales, and I was financially in a position where I had to borrow money from family. So I had $0. I couldn't pay my rent, and I wanted to leave this industry. And that was a very difficult moment psychologically, but it was also a breakthrough moment that I needed to experience. At the same time, in that year, I had a health diagnosis of a condition which I have, an autoimmune condition. And the doctor said in 2011 that in 10 years' time, you won't be able to drive a car. So you need to change your career. That was a big shock moment for me.
Wow.
There's a saying that, if I remember it correctly, the best gifts in life are badly wrapped. Um, and at that point, if you said to me, Alex, what a great thing that's happened to you, this gives you the opportunity to improve and be better, I would have questioned you. I would have said, no, this is terrible. You know, I've got health issues. I'm not going to be able to work. I'm in financially a very bad position. I had to borrow money from family to pay my rent. No, this is not good news. But when I look back, Tom, that was the defining moment where I had to change the way I looked at life, the way I treated time. Time became a precious commodity. So there was no longer the option of just cruising and being casual. It was, Alex, you got 10 years. You're not going to be able to function after this. So you better make a change. And everything became non-negotiable. There was no more laziness of, I don't want to knock on that door or make that call, or I'll do that tomorrow, or let's just leave it till next week. It was no now. Now is the time, or never, or else you're going to fail. You're not going to be able to provide for your family, and you're going to struggle in life. So that brick wall that I hit was a defining moment of change psychologically, where from then on, I went into a different mode of operation, which was zero fear, because the fear of knocking on a door or calling someone that you'd never had spoken with was a lot less fearful and damaging than not being able to function in life and losing my career. So it was at that point where I said, no more casual, half-assed approach. Let's do this properly. And that's where I had to relook at my business, narrow down my geographic focus, become the specialist, create a brand of myself, my name, through social, through digital, have more intelligent conversations, add value to every interaction that I had, and give selfless advice. You know, give people advice as if they're your family, your brother, your mother, your father, rather than give self-serving advice that was beneficial to me. And I think once that sort of mindset changed, the reaction from the consumer changed. I was creating much stronger relationships. There was a lot of trust there. And when you build trust, you win the business. And ultimately for me, this is what it's about. It's a relationship business.
There was about 6 mic drop moments in that answer, Alex. So I have to ask you, you and I both know people that have dealt with difficulty, hit the brick wall metaphorically, and they went the other direction. So why did you go that direction? You had the choice. We've seen plenty of people, have a breakdown and not followed by a breakthrough. So what in your past, or what was in your future that said, I have to do this?
I don't think I had a better alternative, Tom. It was
Yeah.
either fail or stop being fearful. And it was, I had a fear of rejection. I think we all do. Naturally, no
Sure.
one likes getting rejected. It's not a good feeling, So there was this resistance of not wanting to be rejected that I had to completely overcome. And the way I coach my team is, when you make a cold call, when you knock on a door, expect to get rejected. This is normal. This is
Yes.
expected. Don't go in with
Yes.
the expectation of them inviting you in or saying, great, thanks for calling, Alex. Here's my home, and let's get this underway. It's a process, and you've got to be willing to go through those rejections. It doesn't hurt once you interpret it the right way. But if you become an emotional person, I find it's hard to deal with these things. And we're in an industry, it's somewhat of a roller coaster ride. There's lots of ups and downs in real estate. One day you're at
Yes.
the top, and then the next day you're at the bottom. And I had to really just flatten my emotions. And, I celebrate the wins, but I don't go ridiculous when things go good. And if things go bad, I'm trying to be cool with it as well. But for me, Tom, I had no other alternative. Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
We're very blessed to be in this industry, regardless of which country you're in. There's
Yeah.
very few careers that you can come into with very little education, no university degree, no real pedigree or background or anything, and earn the income that some of us agents can earn. No other industry offers that opportunity. And you can go and study to be a surgeon for 10 years, and some agents are still making more than these
That's right.
surgeons. So for me, it was, is there a better career path? Do I have a better option out there? I could go and earn 50, 60, 80K a year and have a normal 9 to 5 job. But that wasn't really exciting for me, because I've given this career 10 to 12 years of my time. I knew the process to some degree. I just haven't really given it a chance. So it was either go somewhere else and earn 80K a year or give this my best and try and make it happen. And I chose that path.
I love it. I love it. So I have to ask, obviously with the autoimmune disease, here we are now 11 years since that time has passed and 12 years, right? So you've clearly moved beyond it, right? You probably still deal with it, I imagine, but how do you maintain that mindset, right? If you were told you had 10 years and you're now sitting at 12 and you're still able to do the things you want to do, how do you maintain that sense of fire and urgency?
I think it's somewhat personality driven, and I think your past can influence how you behave. You know, I came from a very low socioeconomic background. I lived in housing commission with my parents for most of my life. It wasn't easy. I moved from Iran to come to this beautiful country, and I feel very grateful and blessed to be here. For me, it's trying to acknowledge the opportunity that I have that gives me that drive and motivation. I need to look at myself and say, hey, Alex, you're very lucky to be here. You're living in this beautiful country. You enjoy some freedoms that your countrymen in Iran are struggling to have. You've got this awesome job. You've got a beautiful area that you live in. You're still walking. You're still talking. You can still see. You can still hear. You're functional.
Yeah.
Health-wise, yeah, things are up and down. I've got 2 autoimmune diseases. I've got Crohn's disease, which is a bowel issue.
Yeah.
And I've got ankylosing spondylitis, which is a spinal disease, which turns the person into a hunchback. So I am struggling with that at times, but it is what it is. I've got to be grateful for what I have. I mean, this is the hand I've been dealt. I can't change that. I've just got to play this hand the best I can. The worst, I guess, position to be in is self-pity and that victim mentality. And that is such a negative stance that will eat you up inside. And we all have a reason to be a victim. We can all justify, self-pity. But I find that really kills the energy and the life inside of someone. So regardless of what happens to me, good or bad, I need to say I'm very blessed to be where I am. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity. And I think I've got to acknowledge that I've got a great opportunity to take advantage of, because if I don't recognize what I have as special, then I probably won't utilize it as well as I could.
Yeah.
So that's as much of the interview that I'm going to show you. I will post the link to it. Alex Jordan has a disease, and 10 years ago they told him he wouldn't be able to drive in 10 years. But he took a positive attitude, and because of that, he did things to stay healthy, exercise, and he never had that victim mentality. That if you have that victim mentality, and we all have a tendency toward it, according to Alex, I don't know that that's true, but for everybody, but he said the negativity just sucks your energy and your enthusiasm and the way you come across to people. So he was able to take his 2 physical ailments and challenge himself that he was going to live beyond those 10 years and just go hook, line, and sinker into real estate in a more focused manner. And along the way, he's always felt blessed and grateful. And he acknowledges the freedom that he has and the country that he lives in and the things that he has to deal with. And what he has to deal with is minor compared to where he came from in Iran, because he has the freedom to make as much money as he wants to, even more than surgeons, he said. He makes more money than a surgeon makes who's gone to school for 10 years. So it should give you hope and give you faith that you can make 2023 or perhaps 2023 one of your best years. And it's just going to have that mentality. And he says we all have fear. Everybody has that fear of being rejected, but we all get rejected. We just have to get back up and keep making those phone calls, keep knocking on the doors, keep meeting people, keep telling them about the market, and one of the things that he said that I really love, and before I leave, because I'm going to go do our law class today with Jimmy Dague,
is instead of being so self-serving, instead of doing everything just for you, start being selfless. And when you start being selfless and giving people information and trying to help people, it comes through. It really comes through. So that's my show for today. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, give me a like, make some comments. If you're on Facebook, give me a like. And I enjoy so much helping everybody and giving you these nuggets as I come across them. Have a wonderful weekend and go team. I think the Golden Knights won last night, so that's a good thing. I love you all.